Hello, welcome to day 2 of the Sun Salutation. I keep saying challenge, but really it is a journey. It is all about the journey and not the destination. We'll keep this in mind. We're going to aim for 15 rounds of the Sun Salutation for 4 weeks from now. And today we're going to work on some alternate poses or some modifications that we can use when we're moving through our Sun Salutations. That will it's like the princess and the pea over here. Gotta make sure there's nothing under your mat. Hi Jessica, welcome. So we're going to be moving through some modifications that we're going to be able to use throughout our practice when we start to get tired but we want to keep going. So this is really important to make sure that when we start to fatigue during our practice and you want to keep going, that you don't start doing things sloppily, but that you have like an alternate move to do so that you keep your body safe, because really that's the number one thing for me, is that no matter where you get with this, that we want to get stronger, we want to feel more alive, or whatever it is that you want to get out of this, but you want to do it in a sustainable, healthy way that's going to allow you to keep a stronger, healthier, happier body in a month, a year, 10 years from now. Not like, I had a really amazing year of yoga and then I injured my wrists, or which happens, but I blew out my knee trying to do something silly. It's like we're going to work on honoring our bodies. Part of this moving with the breath is to cultivate an awareness inward. So it's almost like a moving meditation where we're really feeling into what's happening inside of us so that we know when to push forward, we know when to come back. But enough with the talking. We do only have 20 minutes, so let's begin. We're going to start out with just a couple of stretches. So reaching your arms up towards the sky, lift your ribs up off your hips, take your right hand to your left wrist, and then you're going to allow yourself to lean over to the right. Just let your head go. See if you can just let your head go. Keep your elbow up towards the ceiling. Check to see if maybe one hip is swung forward. Keep them in line. Nice deep breaths. We're trying to open up the muscles between the intercostals, so the ribs, they're called the intercostals. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release a little more deeply, and inhale up, look up. Keep those ribs lifted. Take your left hand to your right wrist and lean over towards the left, like you're reaching to the left here. Again, notice if you're tightening through your jaw or tongue or eyes, or if you've stopped breathing, this is an indication you've gone too far. So these are our checkpoints. Opening up the space. Opening up the psoas, that long diagonal muscle through our abdomen that sometimes causes people lower back pain. Really good stretch here, our hip flexors. And inhale up, and exhale, hands down by the side. We're going to come right up to the top of the mat and start moving into some of our Sun Salutation asanas. Asana just means posture. So it's one of the limbs of yoga. We can get into that later. A little bit every day, guys. So we want to start out again with feet parallel to the edge of the mat. So that looks like the outside of your foot is parallel to the edge of your mat, okay? Heels are behind your toes, feet are hips distance apart roughly. Inhale, arms up, look up past your thumbs, and exhale. Bring your hands through prayer. Tuck your belly button in and up, and hinge forward. Take your fingertips to the ground. Go ahead and bend your knees to get there. Inhaling and exhale. Allow your upper body to hang here. Just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Feel your feet on the ground as you exhale. Feel your feet sinking deeper into the ground. Check to see if your hips are over your heels by kind of shifting forward and back. You want to make sure the weight is stacked evenly over the heels. Knees, hips, heels. So a lot of yoga is stacking our bones. So we let gravity do the work, so we allow our bodies to open. Okay, now take your fingertips to your shins, press and straighten your back, flattening your back, look forward. So you have a horizontal back to the ground. And then we're going to exhale and forward fold. Let the head draw towards the ceiling. Feel the blood as it moves into your head and feel the weight as it's pulling down towards the ground. Feel into this, breathe, and allow this to happen. Maybe nod your head yes. Make sure you're soft through your jaw again. Soften your face, your cheeks, your eyes. Breathing in and out your nose. Bend a little more deeply through your knees and press your feet into the ground, sending your upper body up, and take your arms back up into the air. Inhale, look up. And exhale, hands down by your side. We're going to review Tadasana one more time, we're going to review all of this several times. So in our standing pose, we want to unlock our knees. We are going to send our pelvis forward. So tucking your pelvis forward, tailbone is under, yes. Ribs come in. Shoulders draw back together and squeeze just slightly together. Fingertips pressing towards the ground, palms facing forward. Chin tucks in slightly, and like there's a string drawing your head up to the ceiling, coming taller as you inhale. And then as you exhale, press your thighs apart like you're trying to send them away from each other, but keep your legs the same. So it's called isometrically pressing them apart. So they're not actually moving. You maybe would see a little bit of shift, but not much. More so you feel it. A lot of yoga is this as well. You feel it more than you see it. All right. Take a nice deep breath in. And out your mouth, sigh. Another deep breath in. And out your mouth, sigh. Start to feel your feet sinking into the ground here. Start to feel a softening through the back of your shoulders, your jaw, your eyes round, so not staring and looking, but soft through the focus. And we can even keep our eyes closed or soft during our practice, keeping our body focused or keeping our mind focused on what's happening in our body and just feeling into sensations without overthinking. Learning to tune into our body, feeling empowered in what is happening physically, emotionally, mentally, tuning in, cultivating an awareness and a relationship, deeper relationship with ourselves. And we will begin by inhaling, arms up, look up, and exhale, forward fold. We're going to take 3 breaths here. So inhaling, exhale, that head comes down. Feeling an opening through the back of the thighs. Making sure knees are bent in order to keep your back hanging so you're not, bend your knees to take your fingers to the ground if you need, I should say. Okay, now we're going to inhale, 3/4 lift, take our fingertips to our shins and look forward. So we should feel a slight engagement through our lower belly here, as well as through our back. Draw your shoulders down out of your ears, slightly squeeze the shoulder blades together, long through the neck. Head is away from tailbone. And exhale, take your fingertips down to the ground, and we're going to step our right foot back. Now don't worry about the length on these right now. We're going to get longer as we go. You'll get more comfortable with this as you go. Have a quick look and make sure you're still hips distance apart, as that will help you with flexibility when we start here. You're going to take your your right heel and just drop it slightly to the left, coming at a 45-degree angle with that back foot. Make sure now that your knee is over your right ankle and press on up to standing. Notice if you're still leaning forward, can you press through that back foot and send your chest and upper body parallel to the ground, parallel to the walls around you, that is. Straight up and down. Send your arms up to the sky. Press through that back foot. So this is that isometric hold I was talking about. So we're pressing through the back foot. We're sending the right hip forward, sending the left hip back, reaching up, turning our body so that it's facing the front of the mat. Our palms are facing each other. Knee is definitely stacked over the ankle here. So you see if I take my knee back, I get a forward pressure through my knee. And it's putting extra tension on the muscles of my knee. And if I go too far forward, again, the knee just wants to push through, and it's not good for your muscles. So you want to keep this 90 degree angle with your foot and your knee here. Okay, take your hands down to the floor, and then you're going to step your left foot back. And this is where we're going to move into our first modification. So from here, we're going to lower down our knees, and then you're going to keep your your shoulders over your wrists, look forward, lower your belly down, tip your tailbone up, and then bend your elbows towards your body, sending your chest down and looking forward. So hips are high here. Okay? You may feel this is quite a lot of pressure in the chest, especially if you're not used to this. But this is our modification. So coming back up, and lifting your knees, coming into a plank. This would look like, so this is chaturanga. This is where we're in our long plank and we lower down. So we can take our elbows, they're gonna stay in towards our body. Squeeze your elbows in towards your body. Bend your elbows, come down to the ground. Untuck your toes. Press the back of your feet into the floor and press up cobra. So that's the move. And now you're going to tuck your toes and come up, back up to plank. And we're going to come back down in our alternate form. So we can come back, we can come down in our chaturanga and our plank, or we can do knees, chest, and chin, lowering ourselves down in stages. Now to come up from cobra to cobra from here, we're going to lower our hips and press through our hands at the same time. Again, keep your elbows bent, squeeze into your body, draw your shoulders out of your ears. Okay. And now just press back and sit on your heels because we're going to review hands one more time. I know we're going slow, but don't worry, it will pick up and you'll be thankful for these hopefully later. So we're going to go through a hand lock here. So a couple of important things when we have our hands on the ground, and if you're in one of my classes, you know I go over this all the time, over and over. So a hand lock is, I'm going to come right up so you can see me here. So basically what we're going to do is we want to make sure we have a wide spread between our fingers. So pinky and thumb are widely spread from each other. You have equal distance roughly between all your fingers. And then you're going to squeeze the tips of your fingers into the ground like you're trying to make a fist through the ground. And you're going to press through the thumb and forefinger. So you'll notice if you take your hands to the ground right now and don't do anything, likely you'll tip the weight into the pinky side of your hand and the bottom of your palm. Like it just happens, it's what we do. So what you want to do is actively turn the weight in, squeeze the forearms together, and grip the ground like you're making a fist. And it's going to create this hollow in the center of your hand. And imagine you're like pulling up. It takes a lot of energy in the hands. It will get stronger over time. But every time your hands touch the ground flat, you want to spread them wide. Press the fingertips down so you'll see your knuckle or your nails turning white, or the skin on the tip of your fingers turning white. Press the fingers down and then squeeze forearms together and grip the ground, and the palm's going to come up and flex, and that's going to help you grip the ground, especially in your down dog. Okay? All right. So coming back onto hands and knees, hands come underneath your shoulders. Now equal distance between your fingers, nice wide hands. You can have either your pointer finger facing forward or your middle finger facing forward, depending on what feels right for you. We're going to grip with our fingers. We're going to tip the weight into our knuckles. So take it out of our palms slightly. Squeeze your forearms together. Take a nice deep breath in here through your nose. Now blow out your birthday candles. Now keep that activation in your core. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back, and lower down chaturanga. Elbows in towards the body. Inhale, up dog. Cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees, press through your hands, squeezing them into the ground, coming into downward facing dog. You can have a bent knee in your down dog in order to get your back straight. So you don't want to have a straight leg, and that means you're humping through your back. So if your hamstrings are tight, you can bend your knees, getting a nice straight back, and we'll work on straightening the legs over time. Squeeze the forearms together here. Take the shoulders out of the ears. Nod your head yes, make sure your neck is loose here. Tuck your ribs in. And then we're gonna send our right foot forward. Again, if you get stuck halfway up the mat, you can just take your hand and bring it up with you, and then drop that left heel coming up warrior one on this side. That is to say the left side. Notice if you've turned slightly to the left, draw that right hip back, press that left hip forward, and press that back foot flat onto the ground. Now an alternate move for this one might be crescent, so you want to just go ahead and lift the heel up off the ground. That's going to straighten your hips, and then you could just take your arms up. So heel up makes it a little easier. Trying to get that heel down and the foot flat and turn the hips can be a little more challenging. So rather than landing incorrectly or pressing incorrectly into a pose, if you're tired, just lift that heel. Then your hands are going to come down. You're going to step back into a high plank again, and then elbows in towards the body, lowering down your choice, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, pressing through hands for cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Inhale, look between your hands, and you're going to walk your feet up towards your hands. 3/4 lift, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, press through your feet. Come on up, look up towards your hands, and exhale, hands down by your side. Okay, so this was day one. Day two, we learned the moves, although I'm sure at this point the sequence is still a bit foggy. We've learned some modifications and some alternate moves to use throughout our class. And we're going to start with tomorrow. We're going to actually start moving through the routine really slowly with extra breaths. So please reach out to me today if you have any questions. And thank you very much for joining me today. And hopefully we will see you bright and early here tomorrow morning. Take care of yourselves, drink lots of water today, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.